It's our immense pleasure that International Association for the Promotion of Asia Africa Research started with an aim to provide its best support to the society in a free of cost. With this ambition, the president of the association, in collaboration with Nigeria, the international coordinator, Dr. P. Essien, and Dr. Fulbinder Pal Singh ji, discussed and started this association along with Dr. Sauli Mukherjee ma'am, Dr. Vikas Singh sir, also associated with the chair in a leading frontier position of this association. Ravindra Pathak ji, Dr. Ravindra Pathak ji and Dr. Kapil Joshi, they are already taken the chair and the responsibility of this association. Mr. Emmanuel Ododo is a very active person of this association who always try to link for the various activities. One time I visited just like as a random to this site, and I have seen all of the honorable persons, respected persons of the nation and international level with a high educated skill. They are associated with this. I also visited the Facebook. There are so many technical persons are there, but I have not found the various activity what the association wants. So I thought from my things, as I already few months before, I entered to the international field to share my experience to help the educational platform through our skill and technology and the development processes. I already associated with the Dr. DrTPS Kumar sir. And sir is also doing and providing his level best of the thought process, positive attitudiness to serve in the educational field, as well as we always trying how the new generation will come in a right direction. Then after I thought, why not a person have to lead? So why we will start tomorrow? Why not today? So with this very difficulty in a manner, but in a search, at last I got Ododo number. And Mr. Ododo also helped me a lot. So I have taken one journal for the moment. Then after I entered, I have searched all the things. I entered so many things and I analyzed. Then I have to lead this association for the societal benefit through the educational platform. Then I got Dr. Fulbinder Pal Singh sir's number. Then I contacted with him. Also, I have taken the suggestion. Then with the permission of Dr. Fulbinder Pal Singh ji and Ododo and Dr. Peter Essien sir, we thought that we will launch various events through this association in a free of cost for the societal benefit in the educational platform. Then slowly, I got all the contact numbers. I contacted with the members of this association. And at last, we thought in a process that we will streamline this association for the various activity that will conduct and that can be able to share by all of us for the societal benefit. So for that reason, I already said the Google form to take the membership. On that membership form, Google form, I put one post that is skill, because skill is the most important to all of us. That the person will familiar in which field. So based upon that, we will call the expert persons. We can invite the member from our association as well as from the outer of our association for the various program. monthly 1 or 2 program we will conduct webinar, 1 hour or 1.5 hour, or sometimes it will be 2 hours. Now with the suggestion further with the President of Association, Dr. Fulbendra Pal Singh sir, and Dr. Vikas Singh sir, and our international coordinator sir, we will plan for a workshop also, 5 days, 6 days workshop also for the skill development, for the knowledge sharing and practical, you can say that on skill. So this is a in this year 2022, this is the first program IAPAAR is the launching. So very few person may know to enroll for this and to entering or to attend this program. But we have to run the further programs with a huge number of members in the coming future. Now, it's my privilege to welcome our President sir, Dr. Fulbendra Pal Singh sir, to the program. And also, I invite our international coordinator, Dr. Nishawasi P. Essien sir, for the program. Due to the certain emergency work program, our guest of honor and special guest, who is the Deputy Vice Chancellor from Nigeria and the Dean, UIO Nigeria University. They are not attending the program, but they will attend some other program and the event with our association. Now, it's my privilege to welcome Dr. Vikas Singh sir, who is now acting as a Vice Chancellor of ITM University Raipur as a chief guest of this program. And also, my heartfelt respect, and it's my privilege to welcome Dr. T.P. Sarkar sir, who is the guest speaker of our program for this. And I will warm welcome to all the members who are joining and the participant as a joining, and they are joined also. It's a heartily welcome to all of you. Now, I will providing my brief biodata about the Dr. Vikas Singh sir. Dr. Vikas Singh is a Vice Chancellor at ITM University Raipur. He is a very passionate teacher and positively impacted the career and life of more than 5,000 students directly in his classroom over his 25 years teaching career. He is a TEDx speaker. I know personally, sir, though I not directly contact with you, but I have attended some program of your program. He is author of the best sellers category education book, Paper to Screen, The Future of Education. This book has been translated into the Persian language by University of Mazandaran, Babul Sir Inam. Dr. Singh has published 2 patents, 3 books, 3 award-winning case studies, and more than 30 research papers. Dr. Singh has guided many doctoral and postgraduate research scholars also. Dr. Singh has honored with the award of Best Academician Director by India Today, Excellent and Innovation in Engineering Education by Business World, Top 50 Distinguished Educators in Higher Education across India by Wilek Chennai, and Iconic Leader in Higher Education by AKS Education Award. Congratulations, sir, and we wish us more achievement for you in coming future. Dr. Singh has also recipient of Lifetime Achievement Award for Education Excellence by IEDRA. He has the distinction of being the only Asian member in the Global Leadership Coaching Group of Global Business Education Network, United Kingdom. He is also an old Rotarian and a Paul Harris Fellow. Prior to ITM, Dr. Singh has worked with MIT University, Chandigarh University, and ITS, the education group. We are lucky, sir. your presence for today's program and your presence. We need your presence always for the development of this association to provide our best to best service through the education, through the technology, through the technical skill development, and the child development education for the society.
Thank you, Kalichana. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Now, I will briefly tell about the DrTPS Sasikumar sir. Actually, there is no word to tell the TPS Sasikumar sir, because your contribution is reflecting through your work here and there, national and international level. Your contribution and your try to attend the contribution and try for the development in the education line for the new generation is a great example for all of us in the recent stage. Also, it will be example for the coming future. Dr. Sasikumar sir was a former Deputy Director, Director General of the Security, Cabinet, Government of India, New Delhi. He worked as a director in the UGC, Academic Staff College, Calicut University, Kerala. He was also acted as a scientist, Advanced Data Processing Research Institute, Hyderabad, Program Planning and the Project Management, ISRO, Headquarter, Bangalore, Space Application Center, ISRO, Professor and Head of the Department, Business Administration, AEC, JNTU, Hyderabad. Generally, he is a famous or known as space scientist, and most popular is the educationalist. And he is a spiritual director and a good motivational speaker. He is the author of Life of Love, Rhythm of Life, Life Made Simple, and also he is mythologically given so many things and mantra. You got things on his sites also. Most welcome, Dr. DrTPS Sasikumar sir, to our program. Now, I request our international coordinator, Dr. Nesabes P. Essien sir, to address the program.
Good morning to everyone. Indeed, it's a real privilege that this conference is holding this morning. I want to give a brief background on the formations of this international association to promote Asia-African research association. The formations of this association was born out of the need and strong desire to promote African-Asia research collaboration, and also to continue discussion as opportunity arise to ascertain the extent to which cooperative activities could be implemented in the near future between Asia and Africa. Also to collaborate in academic conferences like this, the one that we are doing this morning, and relate academic activities to it. Also to collaborate on activities in key academic research areas as needs and opportunities are identified, so that we'll be able to share research experiences, academic outcomes, and all academic activities that are of common interest between Africa and Asia. Also assessing the possibilities to organize joint international conference as the one that we are doing this morning. We are believing that this conference material that could be of benefit and interest to the two continents. Also collaborating with the universities that are affiliating to these associations by way of organizing that masters in the area of science and technology, so that we'll be able to exchange and balance the opportunities that we are having in Asia and also in Africa for academic development and for the interest of global academic progress. Assessing possibilities of publishing joint international journals in the area of mutual interest, publications of international journals that will bring in ideas from other researchers in Asia and Africa together in the area of common interest. I want to really specify area of common interest here, mostly in Africa. We know the Asian counterparts are highly developed technologically. So we are going to find a way through this forum, through this association, how we can collaborate in order to also gain academic knowledge from them, as well as helping Africa and particularly Nigeria to develop. We have signed so many memorandum of understanding with so many universities, and we are believing that with time, each university will now be organizing their conference so that they will now come up with blueprints and actions of activities that will be of common interest to them, so that other Asian countries and other people all over the world that we are collaborating can now make input to the development of academics in other parts of Africa and Asia. Now, this is the basis by which this association was formed, and we are particularly happy to Dr. Arab, the Vice Chancellor, and other people that have been making inputs to the progress of this association so far since we started and we formed it. I want to sincerely apologize on behalf of the DPC academic of my university and their time. They have promised that next conference that they'll be ready to present their paper. That the IU are also indicating interest so that they can join this association, and other colleges of education and polytechnic that are also online, they are also joining this conference. So I believe by the end of this conference, they will have something to go back and share with other and the leadership of their various institutions, so that they can also partner with us in order to develop academic activities in the two continents. Ladies and gentlemen, today's conference marks the beginning of achieving our desire of this association. Today's conference is going to be the first one ever since we've started. So we've been having other conferences, but this one is going to be a remarkable one. I want to salute the Vice Chancellor that is here to present it. I want to salute the anchorman, Dr. Rapp. I want to salute everybody that is in this morning. I've really found their time this morning to attend this virtual conference in order to make contribution so that this conference will succeed. We are believing that in the near future, more of this will come up. We are believing that in the near future, a lot of researches will be published to the benefits of the entire global system. We are believing that in the near future, this association will stand tall and compete with other associations in academic settings and other things that will help in developing academic interest in the entire global system. I want to use this opportunity once again to say thank you for coming, and you are welcome. I want to earnestly appeal that we remain calm and attend this conference so that at the end we make meaningful contribution, perhaps from the papers that we presented, and also other ideas that we feel will move this association to a greater height. Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Essien, sir. We need more cooperation from your end. Now I may request our President, sir, of this association, Dr. Fulvinder Pal Singh sir, to address to this program.
Hello, good morning. Hello,
Good
I'm
morning.
audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Continue.
yes, sir. हाँ जी, सत श्री अकाल जी, in the Punjabi language, सत श्री अकाल, and good morning, and Honorable Chief Guest Dr. Vikas Singh, Vice Chancellor of ITM University Raipur, special guest, they are not coming.
Dr. TP
that,
Sasikuma, yes,
Doctor, okay, guest
Special
of
guest is
honor,
not coming.
Doctor.
Yeah.
Okay, guest of honor, Dr. TP Shashi Kumar, an eminent economist, and our international coordinator of association, Dr. Peter, and event coordinator, Dr. Kalichan Rath, and all the reputed personalities and academicians. Very good morning and very warm welcome to all of you in the today's journal talk. And it gives me a great pleasure to speak this morning on a roadmap on the education for the sustainable development. And this event is the collective efforts of the Asia-Africa researchers under the banner of International Association for the Promotion of Asia-Africa Research. Now, education for the sustainable development, it's a lifelong learning process, an integral part of quality education. It enhances the social, emotional, and behavioral dimensions of the learning. It empowers peoples of all genders, ages, present and future generations of all, and while respecting cultural diversities. It also recognizes as the key enablers of all the sustainable development goals of UNESCO and achieve its purpose by transforming society. As we all know that UNESCO is the lead UN agency for the education for the sustainable development and is responsible for the overall management, coordination, and implementation. The major role of the education is to promote the development of knowledge, skill, understanding, values, and actions required to create the sustainable world, which ensures the environmental protection, promote social equity, and encourage the economic sustainability. Three major pillars of sustainability are environment, society, and economy. And main elements of the education of sustainable development is to reorient a curriculum to address the sustainability. Educational communities need to identify the knowledge, issues, and perspective skill. And it also demands that educational institution takes a holistic approach to rethink the curriculum, governance, campus operation, and community engagements. At the end, I thanks all of you for the being here today. I really appreciate that you took the valuable time to be here. Thank you very much. Dr. Kalichar.
Thank you so much, sir. Thanks for your nice words related to this particular program about the education for sustainable development. Now, I request Dr. Vikas Singh sir to address the program with the certain required input, because I have listened personally your talk. The time is very short for the moment, but I can extend the time 5-10 minutes. But we need certain more suggestion for the development of the association as well as for the development in the education line. Now I request Vikas Singh sir to continue the.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Dr. Kalicharan,
Welcome, sir.
for inviting me to this wonderful forum. And I can see Dr. Fulvinder here, Dr. Sasi Kumar, I am meeting first time, Dr. Essien I can see, and Ododo, he contacted me for the first time on the LinkedIn platform. I'm so happy that I'm a part of this August gathering and this group, International Association for the Promotion of Asia-Africa Research. And I can see some young kids, both from India and a few from Africa also joining in this program event. And Kalishan, you mentioned so nicely in the promotion post, that education is journey from darkness to light. And this Today is 73rd Republic Day of India, and we all are celebrating our 73rd Republic Day in India. For the information of Dr. Essien and other African partners here, India became independent in 1947, but the Indian Constitution came into being on 26 January 1950, and because of that Constitution, I personally believe that India has grown manifold in last 73 years since independence and since Republic Day first celebration. I think majorly the reason is that we are a very ordered society, and ordered because of our strong constitution, which is based on justice and equality for everyone. And I think Sasikumarji, because of his interest in economics, would agree that at the time of independence, India was a third world country. And today we are the fifth largest economy in the world. From less than 3 lakh crore economy, we are now 150 lakh crore plus economy today. And two major pillars, the one was our constitution, that which gives equal rights, equal opportunities to every Indian citizen, irrespective of the religion, caste, creed, faith. Every one of us is enjoying the same opportunity in India, whether male, female, Hindu, Muslim, irrespective of that. We all are enjoying the benefits, fruits of a strong constitution. And second thing, which because I'm from academic fraternity, I believe that India or Indian parents, again from all caste, creed, religion, have been very focused on education of children. Dr. Fulinder would agree, Sasikumarji would agree that I'm yet to find a parent in my 30 years journey as a teacher, yet to find a parent who is not trying to improve the school or the college for education of their ward. Like if we were in school A, we always try to ensure that our kid goes to school B and school B is better than school A. If we were there in college A, we always try to send our kid to college B, which is better than college A. And I think because of this focus on education of young kids, that is why today in more than 50 Fortune 500 companies, they are headed by people of Indian origin, be it Microsoft, be it Deloitte, be it a few years back Citibank. You name those, Google, you name those big, large multinational concerns, they are headed by people of Indian origin. And more than that, product of Indian higher education system. It can be IIT, it can be IIM, it can be Manipal, it can be any institution, but they are generally product of Indian higher education system. They did their graduation from India, then they moved to different places in the world, got their maybe higher education, further higher education from there, research from there. But the basic fundamental, the basic foundation was because of Indian higher education. And this, on one hand, is because of the parents, the Indian parents who are so involved in the education of their kids, and also the higher education system in India. And when I'm saying higher education system in India, we have always been a very outcome-focused higher education system. And why I'm saying higher education system is already outcome-focused in India, which is like SDG Goal 4 on quality education. I have discussed this SDG Goal 4 in many other forums, platforms as well. And I always say that this is a recent development. SDG 17 identification goals, a very recent development. But in India, the quality education, the focus on outcome has been there for last so many years. And why I'm saying this with this confidence, because India is a land where opportunities were always less than number of people aspiring for those opportunities, be it admissions to the premier institutions, be it for admissions to technical fields, higher education, be it for getting a job in government service, administrative services, IAS, IPS, other such services. The positions were always less and number of applicants were always much higher. And because of that, the focus was always on quality. Parents would ask the young kids that now you have done your graduation, now you have done for your post-graduation, now you should not sit idle at home, you should start contributing, get some job, get some employment, start contributing to the growth of your family, growth of your society, growth of your country. And because of that, in India, if we look at the private universities, the universities which have grown many fold in last 25-30 years, those universities are invariably those universities where placements have been very commendable. In fact, the premier institutions in India, be it IIT or be it IIM, they are also so much sought after because once you complete the course from there, your program from there, there is a very highly likelihood that you will land a very rewarding job, you will have a very successful career, and you can make your mark in your chosen field. What this shows? This shows the real outcome. An institution is good can only be said if the number of applications that you receive for admissions are much more than the seats that you are going to offer, and the number of companies which are coming to your campus for hiring your graduates are much more than the graduates that you are producing every year. These two are the major outcomes. And in all those premier institutions in India, this outcome is there for everyone to see. The teachers in India, we have this beautiful concept of Guru Shishya Parampara. And because of this Guru Shishya Parampara, I would say that in society at large, if you are a higher education teacher, you might not be earning a huge money, but you have good respect, just like a doctor, a medical doctor, a university professor, a higher education professor, is treated at par. And that is why some of the brightest brain in our country have joined higher education as teachers out of their sweet will and not because of some forced choice. This is, I think, first requirement to be a good higher education teacher, that you should be loving your role of a teacher. You should be a passionate teacher. Because if you are a passionate teacher, only then you can ignite the passion in your students, and you can ensure the teaching learning process in your classroom. And if we talk about sustainable goal, SDG 4, like sustainable means the resources that we are using today, those resources are also available for our future generations. In fact, in higher education, the more resources being used today, more it will be available for the future generations. If we are doing good research, if we are coming up with good patents, we are coming up with good designs, we are writing good research papers, we are conducting good experiments, coming up with good solutions to problems, and documenting all our efforts. So we are utilizing our resources, exploiting our resources in a big way. It is, of course, sustainable, because when the future generations would start, all this would be available for them for their ready consumption. The findings of teachers of today, the writings, the publications of teachers of today will be the starting point for the future generations. So I think sustainability of goal 4 is inherent, inbuilt in the process itself. My personal understanding is, as Vice Chancellor of the university, whenever I talk to young kids, whenever I talk to young teachers, a person like Kalicharan, a young force, I always say that ensure your passion remains there. Ensure that your ability to learn, lifelong learning remains there. You know, we all are, because of growth or development in medical field. The pandemic will of course pass in next 18 months, 2 years time. We all are going to be living till 100 years or more than that because of advancement of medical field. What we are teaching to our students today at the age of 20, 21, 25 is not going to remain relevant for next 75 years. They might be getting education from the best institutions. They might be pursuing the best programs. 15 years back, no one of us could see there is going to be Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and all these platforms. The change in the world is happening so fast that what is going to happen after 10 years, 15 years, how this machine learning will take shape, how this artificial intelligence will take shape, how the things will be changing in next 10, 15 years, no one can foresee with confidence. So what is required? That you must be learning oriented so that you remain relevant even after 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, even after 75 years, at the age of 100, you should remain relevant. And for that to happen, the ability to learn or having your passion to learn new things, to remain relevant, becomes very crucial. So success of these young kids, whether they are from India, Asia or Africa, the successful career will be dependent on our ability to keep learning and keeping ourselves relevant, looking at the pace at which the world is changing. And I'm very happy that I'm invited to speak to this, a very new platform. And it's really a pleasure that I'm able to see Dr. Essien, Dr. Fulvinder Sasikumarji, maybe in other programs subsequently, when we are more focused on research, when we are more focused on some other specific outcomes, I'll be very happy to participate, and I'll be very happy to make my students and my faculty members participate. My point is that this group which is created must have some outcome in mind. Let's make a yearly plan that what should be the outcome of this group after a year, and then divide that plan into maybe 4 quarters, that in each quarter we are going to have this kind of association, collaboration, and this is going to be the outcome of this eminent group. And I'm very happy that Kalicharan has taken the lead, Orodu is there. I wish all the very best to this August gathering. Any support, any collaborative effort is required from my side, from my university. I'll be very happy to contribute. Thank you so much for inviting me. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thanks for sharing your valuable words with all of us. Surely we will try to fruitful one by one. And regarding that, you told or advised regarding the sustainable goals, right? 17 to 19 goals are there. And now every nation, now they are focusing their attention towards that development goals, sustainability development goals. And surely our program will focus on any one or the discussion from that sustainable goal. It's in the coming events, we will make that platform for the discussion.
Absolutely.
Now, I request to our guest of speaker, Dr. T.P. Sasikumar sir, to take the sessions. And surely we will get more input from you, sir, because more events and program I attended on your platform also.
So now I request to Sasikumar sir to take the session.
Namaskaram, my brother
Namaskaram, sir.
Kalicharanji. It was quite amazing to learn many things from the Vice Chancellor of MIT, Dr. Vikas Singh. He has shown the path forward, and I am new to this International Association for Promotion of Asia-Africa Research. So all the time I was looking at who is Fulvinder Singh ji and who is our Peter from Nigeria, UA University, and I just reached the MIT University and Raipur where Dr. Vikas ji is there. And you have many centers all over India, Vikas ji. You have many centers all over India?
Yes. We have 2 universities.
Yeah.
We have one at Vadodara and one at Raipur in Chhattisgarh. And we have many other prominent premier business schools spread across.
I was seeing, I am close to Hyderabad, so I am seeing in Warangal also you have a center. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, nice. And the focus is finance, management. And I'm so glad that this association focuses on research and mainly in agriculture related. And Fulvinder ji is also in education in economics, and he is in Amritsar. Yes, Fulvinder ji, you are in Amritsar, right?
I am from Amritsar.
I was seeing. seeing your
I did
details and your
doctorate.
principal of college there.
Khalsa College.
Yeah.
College.
I just googled and seen all the details about you now.
Okay.
Nice,
Thank you.
nice that the interest is economics, interest is agriculture, and one of the major idea of sustainable development is these two: economics and agriculture. But most of the people don't understand the economics of agriculture. That's the problem. The economics of agriculture is entirely different from the economics of business. Because if you want to produce 1 kg of rice, I am sure from Punjab my brother will agree, you can't produce it for 2 rupees, right? But in India, we sell rice for 2 rupees. Actually, that is a non-sustainable agricultural practice. That is actually fooling the whole world. It is actually fooling agricultural people. It is actually cheating agriculture people. It is abusing. So I keep saying, whenever somebody thinks about a sustainable development, supporting some portion of economics, you are indirectly abusing a lot of people in this world. And I'm sure Africa is one continent where most of the time this is done by the whole so-called developed nations in the globe. Therefore, a country like India, Asia specifically, needs a lot of collaboration with Africa. In the last 2 years, I have connected to Namibia, I have connected to most of the other places. Maybe Nigeria is much better than Namibia sort of a place. The natural resources are so much. Because of the political reasons, because of the geographical reasons, because of the colonial system which we had, some countries have not seen the light. It is not that economics, money makes you developed. Whenever either UNDP or the new name SDG talk about the development index, I keep making fun. Development is not making money. Development is making a happier life. But how? There is no meter for measuring happiness in this world. There is no meter in measuring how much enlightened a person is in this world. I am so glad that when Vikas ji was talking, he was talking about the ambitions of parents. My name happens to be Dr. T.P. Shashikumar. In short form, it is TPS. I have addressed more than 1 million of teachers, million of parents and million of students in the last 10 years of my social service. Visited more than thousands of institutions all across the globe, including from America to Fiji, the Pacific Ocean this side and the other side also. I keep saying my name TPS is teachers, parents and students. If I can address teachers, parents and students, we have private institutions which are generally for parents because they are happy when they put their children in a private institution. Right? And teachers are happy when they are in a government institution. So we have private institutions which makes parents happy. We have government institutions which makes teachers happy. But we don't have institutions where students are made happy. Actually, when I meet teachers, I keep saying we are all servants of students. Students first. But I have not seen a university advertising students first. And maybe, as it says, we have got, when Vikas ji was mentioning, he was talking about the appointment requirements and the demands. I have a book on civil service handbook. We have more number of vacancies in civil service than the number of people working in civil service. We don't have enough graduates who are capable of handling administration in India today. It is so glad that Supreme Court recently said we need Indian Environment Services also. All these services are good, but do we have real people who understand the holistics? We don't have an administrative service where I was with the Cabinet Secretariat, working with the Prime Minister Manmohan Singh when he was the PM. We have seen how difficult it is to find somebody who is really genius, who knows in the Niti Ayog, how to make this planning which are required. We are very, very short-sighted. Maybe in the 21st century, we should not talk about centuries. We should talk about decades. So I keep saying, don't say 21st century, this is the requirement. We should say third decade of 21st century, this is required. So my policies are always 3-to-1 policies. Third decade of 21st century. 3-to-1 should be the policy. And it should change. In another 10 years, we must change. We are moving so fast. We are not talking about, but understand there is 80% of the people not even connected to internet. We are talking about education for last 2.5 years, where people are not even educated. I am from Hyderabad, Telangana. 10th class exam did not happen, 12th class exam did not happen. So 3 years they got certificates without even examination. When people committed suicide because of failure, and who are the people who are suffering? Poor people, they don't have connection, and we still talk about sustainable development. Who's sustainability? Either technologically developed, economically developed is development, but not those people who are underprivileged. So what are we going to do for them? You make the rest of the people to pass. So what will happen to the next admissions in the colleges? The admissions in the colleges only will become the rich, but not the underprivileged people. So where is the development is going to happen? So we are making the difference too much. We need, that is why the quality education becomes a demand for people. At least education becomes a demand for people. It is not a physical comfort. Physical, emotional, intellectual, social, spiritual, fivefold development, which is the part of education. Swami Vivekananda said, education is man-making. If you are not able to make a human being as human, and the social beings are social, all these development which we talk about today are useless. So we need to have either UNDP programs are renamed as SDG, and we are talking about SDG after 8 years of its existence, and we have another 8 more years to go. SDG also will be over. Then we will do an evaluation, put a new name, and then put it again in the field. There was a beautiful movie which is made by one of the independent movie maker, which is called Seaspiracy. Seaspiracy and Cowspiracy. 2 movies are there, which are released in 2021. You will see what a beautiful way he asked United Nations, the so-called environmentalist, what is sustainable development, what is environmental science which we have? Are we taking care of it rightly? Unless you see the movie, you don't understand how it is exposed. I'm sure we need people in 5 different areas. Administration is fine, politics is next, judiciary is next, and we need good media people. And all these people can become unbiased only when the teachers become the strongest, who can create these 4 different pillars who runs this world. It is not avidya. Avidya is what gives you money to sustain. Physical needs. That is not enough. We need the savidya which creates the quest for people, the curiosity to learn, understand. If that is there, I am sure we will develop a lot of new field research which will stay in this world for a longer time. the contribution of education becomes people with a lot of true research which is happening with zeal and interest in understanding. That is why in Bharatiya Shastram we have Saraswati wedded to Brahma. Wherever education is there, research has to be there. Brahma is the god of creativity, research. Saraswati is the goddess of education. If Brahma and Saraswati do not mix together, research and education do not go together, education itself becomes useless. So quest should be there. I think teaching should be stopped. In the classroom only learning should happen. Learning happens only when there are questions. So the students with this new MOOC system which we have, massive open learning systems which we have in this world, which is exposed to those people who can connect to internet. They must learn everything and come back and ask questions. So if students can ask questions, if students have that curiosity to learn, very hardly we see them. I am sure India will become a developed nation. Nigeria, I remember in my childhood when teachers in my schools and colleges, they wanted to go to Nigeria to teach because slightly better payment is gone. So there are countries who are still looking for quality people from India. We need to support them. If people have to share their expertise from one country to another country, and everybody should look for what is coming from India because India has the largest youth. So we can sell the human resources to the whole world. That is our strength. And if that need to happen, education system has to become, and that education system which is understood in the field, in the grassroots level, agriculture development has to happen. That is lacking now. When we say every educated fellow, they may need only white collar jobs. We must change this system to understand the food and the education, the business and the education, progress in technology and the education. Everything should go hand in hand. So when I looked at the journals, what is being produced by the Association of International Association for the Promotion of Asia Africa Research, I found the focus is on all these: life science and agriculture, entrepreneurship, education, management. Lot of beautiful journals are there. I think we need to make this more and more popular. And I am so glad that Medicaps University has taken a great role in making this happen. And the University of Uo from Nigeria also has a great role to play, being the present contribution what is assured by Dr. Vikas Singh ji. I am sure with the global pan-India presence of his university, he will also be able to contribute a lot. I am a freelancer. I get connected to maximum number of people in the world. I look forward for any association or any collaboration which we can have. Yes, I am into social service. We have got a world soft skill development programs, life skill development programs, and technological development programs, educational improvement for teachers especially, and that we call it as World Social Craft Foundation under the Shiksha Trust which I have. We are at your service, and the idea is to collaborate, connect to people. It is not that we don't have good people in this world. What we have, there is a saying, Amantra Maksharam Nasti Nasti Mulamanaushadam Ayogya Purusho Nasti Yojakaha Tatra Durlabha. We have good words, but not every words joined together to make a poetry can be done by everyone. Poets are less. Similarly, we have good people, but connecting them together to make a good, harmonious way of working together is lacking. That is why most of the associations comes into practice, but activity comes less. So it is nice that my brother Kalicharan has taken this initiative of connecting people together, and that thread may be invisible. The pearls are only seen when you have got the chain made, right? So we are all the thread within that. And once the thread is broken, the chain is lost. So we will play the role of a thread, not for visibility, but for connecting these to make a good chain. And that is what we need. We need a lot of strength from academic institutions, because the youngsters have to understand. So if that can be done, I am sure the collaboration will improve. We can have our own development, and the reflection will come to wherever we go and then start making changes. Thank you, Emmanuel Ododo, for appreciating. Thank you, the Nigerian brothers. And today is a great day for India, Republic. We always keep saying Republic. We have got beautiful words in our constitution for the people, but politicians have become far from the people. Like of the people, but we are off from the people. By the people, but we keep buying people. That is what happens in the democracy most of the time. BUY instead of buy. We need to correct it, and this correction process will happen only when the youth, with a bitter experience of seeing the elderly generation who has not done their job, we will clean it up. And that responsibility is, as Kaudilya has created a great Chakravarti for India, all the teachers have got that responsibility. So pranams, and that is the major goal of SDG, which is the right to education, right to quality education. And that quality is in the hands of teachers. So pranams to all the teachers for connecting people, and then I'm sure we can do wonders. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. I will say that a very excellent words with a proper mapping, with the ambition of this association was discussed in this platform. This is the initiative only. We will plan for more events, workshops for the skill development, also conferences with a proper outcome that will be said with the society. Thank you, sir, so much for highlighting the required words for the society, how to drive ourselves as well as the young technocrats and the persons coming towards the culture of the nation, economic development of the nation, all will be well set before, else the coming crops will damage. So we will set it in and we will take in a proper preventive maintenance, what we are telling, proper care with our technology, with our system, with the education, through the education platform. We will well take care of the coming generation to drive our nation further. Thank you so much, Sasikumar sir. Now it's a privilege to introduce myself, Kalicharan Ratho. I get awarded by research PhD degree by NIT Jamshedpur in the year 2013, live project of an industry, Tata Motors. Then after I got offered, but unfortunately due to my parents' health issue, I've returned back. I am continuing my education by learning, we can say that life learning process, through the life learning process. My education, though I got the award, my education is not completed. Each and every moment from each and every program I am learning.
Yeah.
Presently, I am working as an associate professor in the Department of Mechanical Engineering. GIT University, it is the State Private University of Odisha. We are in a team, we are working with the various projects in the rural development, and with this association also we will plan for more in the coming future. Time to time we will think how to fund generate for this association, but for the moment let it will be open platform, and we will discuss in another platform for the fund generation and the support for the various activities. Thank you so much, sir, for your presence in this program to discuss about the education for sustainable development. And thanks to the President, sir, International Coordinator, sir, guest, chief guest, and the guest speaker of the programs, and also a thanks to the media peoples who are connected with this program. And also gives my special thanks to Ododoji, Mr. Ododoji.
Kalicharanji, I think you should make it open, and if somebody has something to say, I saw a chat.
Surely.
Somebody,
Yes, surely.
allow others to
open
interact.
platform.
Open.
Open platform. Now, if anybody want to say anything, right, you can unmute your mic and you can able to discuss.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes,
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 sir.
Sudhirji.
Yes. Myself, Dr. Sudhir Joshi. I'm a health officer in Government of Gujarat, and I'm a director in the Brigade India. And I'm also a part of high-level political forum of various associations of United Nations. I'm also a mentor of change in Atal Innovation Mission, Niti Aayog. So today's topic and initiatives are very good. I'm also a part of your editorial team also. I want to share something that if you want to work for the SDG, we have to start with 3I, that is informed, inspired and integration. We are believing for best output outcome, and we have started systemic and strategic approach regarding the addressing the various SDG. We are working for SDG 1 to SDG 6. So anytime you people invite me or my team for any type of webinar, seminar, conferences, even we have arranged so many innovative competition like poster, quiz, essay writing, etc. for inviting youth. We want change agent and convert them in the change maker. We want solidarity, peace and happiness of the globe. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you so much, sir. It's a good and a great initiative. We will surely meet, right, sir?
Dr.
We will,
Sudhirji, share your number on the chat so that people can get in touch with you.
Yes. I'm sharing.
I have seen your designation and the details, but not the number.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we have a young people like somebody.
Sarada Prasad Mahapatra ji.
And Sasikumar ji, you recited that shloka, if you can give that shloka, that's very nice one. I never heard that before.
There, I will send you. There may be some. This video itself I am sharing anyway.
Right.
And I have a book. Yeah, I have a book here, which is my book, which is called Life Made Simple, in which the last page is that sloka which is explained. You can download this on my website. I shared my website there. The last sloka is Amantram Aksharam Nasti Nasti Moolam Anaushadam, which talks about nobody is useless. This is what I keep saying. This is the whole management. The management is connecting people.
Absolutely.
If you know this essence, you know everything in this world. That's it. And most of the Subhashitams, you can look at Subhashitam, DrTPS, you can see most of the Sanskrit slokas are quoted and interpreted for the new world today. That's what I did.
Great. Wonderful.
All the poems are also motivational only. This poetry, the first poem is Race for Birth. millions of sperm from the father get into the mother's egg and only one sperm take birth, and that's me. How many did not take birth? Millions. Who are they? My unborn brothers and sisters. So every day we must keep tapping ourselves and say, well done, well done. And this was taught to Amir Khan by his professor. This book was gifted to his professor. His professor was my colleague when we were on different platforms together in Delhi. And that's where 3 Idiots movie's first trigger came from, this first poetry.
Right, wonderful.
So all my books are freely available on my website. And Rhythm of Life is another poetry which you can also see. All things are on L-I-F-E, life. For me, life is live in full enjoyment.
That's great.
That's good.
Learn, no, not enough. Learn in full enjoyment. Not enough. Learning is an investment for future earning.
That's true.
So that's how we motivate children. Keep saying that no, you must get into real learning.
Right, Kalicharanji, it's a pleasure to
So
be here.
anybody? Once? Okay.
So pranams.
Thank you to all.
Pranams and namaskar.
So, sir, namaste. We will meet in some other events also very soon. Because, sir, I will be in touch with you. I may disturb you, but I will not disturb by calling. I will disturb you through the message on your free time.
Anytime, Kalicharanji, anytime.
Sir. Thank you to all. Namaste.
God bless you. Don't kid Kalicharan, I have to save.
No.
God bless. God bless everybody.
I said a link for the attendance to the participant